Hey everyone, I'm going to demonstrate setting up a bubble.io app using the DocSpring integration with a simple template today. So here I have my test app set up on bubble.io, and this is my template that I have set up on DocSpring. And from here, we're going to have a quick look at the submission, what happens when you click submit. So we create a PDF in bubble.io's database. So we create a place to store that for um, ourselves in our bubble.io app. And then we give it a file name and we set the state to pending. And we fire a request to DocSpring. So this is the create PDF submission request that you use from the plugin. And we're going to put through the name, age, date, and a pet's name. And then we're going to also include the file name in the metadata of that request. After that, we reset the inputs, and then we take the details we get from that and we update the file that we're storing in our own storage in the Bubble app. And you can see here I've taken the file, the PDF file, and set to save to S3. And then I've given it the file name that we created in that first step. And that's the simple steps we take there. I've added one more step here, which is only when the submission state is not processed. So once that's come through and successfully generated a PDF, we set a submission state of processed. If it's not that, we're just going to change the state to error in our own database. There's more states that we set and we pass back to you, which you might be interested in if you're building something more complex. But for the purposes of this, I just care about knowing whether or not the PDF was generated successfully or if there was an error. And then my other button that I've got is to get a submission. And what this is going to do is it's just going to download or fetch the PDF from the DocSpring platform rather than the one we've got saved in our bubble.io app. So that is the basics of it. I will show a quick run through. And we're going to get some information in there and we hit submit. I need to refresh my page because I've updated my app since last time. Let's try that again. And we're going to submit today's date. And we're going to look at this loading here. Now there might be some more fancy things you can do to handle the loading time. Now the reason this has taken so long to load is because if we go have a look at our submissions on DocSpring, we can see that's come through with invalid data. So that means there's an error here. We haven't quite got something right. So we can see it doesn't contain a required property of field 7. Looks like we've got a capitalization error on the pet field, and the age doesn't match the type that came through. So let's have a look at our data, and we can see here our age came through as a string. So we need to be mindful of that, because when we set a number field for the age, it expects a number. You can fix this either by changing the type here, or on the bubble side, you can change the data that's sent through. We have a look at this one here, and you can go age, and we can say convert to number. That should fix the number. The pet here, we can see that's a lowercase, but it should be uppercase. And we've got an extra field somewhere that showed up, so we'll delete that. Okay, so now that should be all the errors we have here fixed, and we'll try another submission. We'll get my age closer to right this time, and go. Darth Vader is the best pet. Okay, this time we might need to refresh it again because we've made another change. And what happened this time? Got invalid data again. And so that's interesting. Right there, we can see that even though we told it to change to a number, it has still sent it through as a string. So let's just see if there's anything else we've got here that might fix this for us. Nope, that's apparently what it should be. So let's try that one more time. Make sure it actually saved correctly. And again, okay, so this is fairly valuable information to know. We know now that bubble.io doesn't really like sending through numbers as numbers. It'll always send them through as a string if it can. And in our case, it doesn't really matter if we get this as a string or a number. We can just change this to a string and display it as letters. So that's not a big deal at all for us. I'm gonna do that, refresh this, put my name in here again, and all right, so we got to successfully process this time. So if we have a look here, we can see that our data looks good. We've got that file name shown up in our metadata, and our app shows the new form here. Now I've got this little link here, and this here is we can see that is linking to a bubble.io address, and that lets us see the PDF that we've created. This also exists on the DocSpring side. So that's this link here. We can see that one there. That's the one that comes back from when we generate it. These have expiry dates set on them by default, and you can adjust those and all that sort of thing. It can be a lot easier just to manage the files yourself, but if you want to, there is that option there as well. And that looks the same, of course. And if we grab the submission ID and we go here, and we download the submission, we get the same result. Now, if we have a look at the workflow for that, we are simply taking that submission ID where I put it into the input, we open it up on an external website, and that's it. So you can do more with the data as you see fit and what meets your needs on your application. There's not a lot more to it there. It's fairly straightforward. Let us know if you've got any questions or want us to show any other capabilities of the platform, and we'll do our best to help out.